Great American Rugby. Rugby is life and life is great. My name is Lance. How you guys doing today? Today I have a very special guest. Actually, one of my favorite players nowadays. I got an opportunity to have a conversation with her a while back. Come to find out, she one of the coolest people on the circuit. I said it. And now, me and her get to sit down and talk about what it is to live this life. Before I get started, I want to show some thanks and gratitude to all those rugby coaches, rugby referee coaches that helped me out over the past couple of weeks. It has been a great time in this rugby referee era. And moving forward, I look forward to having as many rugby referee coaches stopping by to help me out and showing love to the craft, as well as some of these great athletes who have blessed the stage and allowed us to really observe and enjoy rugby to a level that has been tip top as we head into this 2024 Olympics. But my guest today, I don't know how you would describe this person. Glitter is one way to describe. Fast is one way to describe. Tenacious is another way to describe. How about all around human being? How about Canadian, Sevens, International? How about my homegirl? Yeah, I get to say that now. My homegirl, Asia.
You're good at that. That was good. That
You
was
like
really
that?
good.
You like? I'm trying. I'm trying my
You're a
best.
hype
Trying
man.
my best. Asia Hogan Rochester
What's
herself.
that?
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm excited to chat. Let's go.
Let's do it. So first thing is, over the last, I want to say, about 8 months, you popped up on my radar in a way that's like, PR7s is enough, right? As soon as someone play PR7s, I'm
Yeah.
pretty much privy a little bit to what they got going on. You came out of nowhere, PR7s. Let me say that, humbly, right? You came out of nowhere, PR7s, and became kind of a glue player for the team, doing a lot of the work that you seem to be doing for Canada. How was your experience with PR7s?
It was really good. Yeah, I played my first game back from ACL rehab with PR7s, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that they gave me. Shout out Steel Toes, shout out Josie. Yeah, I just had so much fun. And I think that was really important for me, just like getting back into playing, like not too much pressure, but like still like decent level competition. And like, yeah, it was just good. It was just fun, good vibes, good rugby. Yeah.
I gotta ask, you said decent level competition. For those uninitiated to the pro international level, right? I aged out before that was possible. Poor me. You've played both. You've been on the circuit. You've played against the Great Britons, the South Americas, the USAs. How do you compare that to what PR7s provided?
Um, I liked playing PR7s because it seemed like everybody that was on the field wanted to be on the field. And like sometimes like with World Series stops, it's like you play so many games, you might be in like your 12th game of a back-to-back tournament and it's like bodies are tired, or like you've been doing this kind of thing like your whole life. But like with PR7s, just like the energy on the field and off the field, like everybody just wanted to be there and everybody was giving 100%. And like, not that that doesn't happen at the international level, because um that's how you get there to begin with, but like it was just a different energy. Like you could feel that from every single individual. So I like that. And then myself included, like I wanted to be on that field. Like I hadn't played rugby in over a year at that point. So it was
Ooh, all
nice.
right. So now we got to talk about it, right? Because I've heard your story before, and shout out to Rugby Pass TV, who's gracious enough to allow me to use these clips. But over the commentators, as I was watching some of your games, talked about your genesis into rugby, how you got started, and I heard the story is because of your current teammate. Is that true?
Yeah, a little something like that.
So tell me, how did first of all we can start from the beginning and kind of roll into that. Were you an athlete growing up? Where are you from? Like, what was your upbringing like?
So I'm from Toronto, Scarborough to be specific. And growing up, I didn't really play too many sports. Like I did track and field in school, but I just did it for like, I knew I was fast and like I could get a nice field trip out of it, get out of school for a couple weeks, like, you know, kind of thing. But like I didn't play like soccer, volleyball. I didn't really do softball. I didn't really play any sports really. But yeah, I did track. And then, but I got into a lot of trouble as high school kind of went on.
You a
So
troublemaker? No way.
yeah,
No way.
it's hard to believe. But yeah, long story short, basically, in 2016, the Canadian women's sevens team won bronze at the Olympics, and one of the members of that team, who's now my teammate, Charity Williams, went to my high school before she won bronze. And then when she did win bronze, she came back and showed her medal. And so like that kind of happened. I was like, okay, rugby, that's pretty cool. She came from the same place that I came from. Like, that's dope. And then I also just got into a lot of trouble. And like her younger sister was on the rugby team, who is one of my closer friends. And she was like, Asia, just come out and hit some people and get your anger out. So I was like, okay, I could do that. And then once I started playing it, like I just like really fell in love with it. I fell in love with mostly just the community, and like it was just really different from the people that I was surrounding myself with. Rugby has like the best people, just the best people. It has the best community, and like it was really different from like what I was used to. So that kind of made me stick with it. And then yeah.
You said rugby people are so different, and it has good people. Do you know you're part of that collective now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually pretty dope. Y'all from the same area?
She's from more like downtown Toronto, and then I'm kind of like east side.
Okay, you an Easterner. I don't know what that means in the whole, you know what
I'm
I'm
a
saying?
Scarborough shorty. Scarborough shorty.
Scarborough. So shout out to Scarborough. Never been there, but it must be dope. I need horns.
Don't go.
I need that. Oh, don't go.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a crazy place.
Okay. All right. Cool. Because that's how I describe my hometown too. So, so how did it come about that you ended up getting your opportunity to play for Canada? Like, to me, as a North American, just like you see what was going on. You see the drip. You know what I'm saying? Drip never slipped. You feel me? How did the process come about for you to go from Olympian coming to your high school, and by mind you, she is one of the goats. I like playing style. Like every time I watch her play, since I want to say it was before the Olympics, but every time I watch her play, I believe she was in Atlanta. I can't be sure though. When the series came to Atlanta, but every time I watch her play, it's like the thinker that she is. I'm not. This ain't her interview. Listen,
No, throw it up, because no, seriously, even now, like she's like obviously like back then, like she came to my high school and like, you know, spit some game. But even now, like she's one of my closest friends, but like she spits game. Like she's always, we play similar positions too, so she's always like telling me like ways to get better. And like, you know, we have like a good relationship on field. It's like I want to get the ball to her, and if I'm coming off the bench and like if I'm coming off the bench and she's going onto the bench, like I'm always like I need to raise the standard, because she set the bar, and like she motivates me a lot. She's throw it up.
Yeah,
Throw it up.
she one of those. She one of those.
Yeah.
Our playing style, at least you know from when I was a young pup, it reminds me of myself. You know what I'm saying? Or like I like appreciate the way that she attacks, especially you know what tournament as I was doing one of the tournaments I was doing research on you. I watched her score against like Australia, and she hit some girl up with a move. And I just watched some girl poor knee and ankle just collapse on herself. You know what I'm saying? Just it was bad. But and this is a thing that most people like. If somebody killing in games and cooking in games, the things they do in training, I'm sure she goes absolutely crazy.
That's a good point. A lot of people don't realize that too. It's like you look at some of the greatest players and you're like, damn, like they're doing crazy stuff in game. But it's like if that's their standard at like the highest level against the hardest competition, like think of what they're doing like every other day of the week. Like it's crazy.
Some
Yeah, she
poor
goes off.
club, some poor club player coming up. I got my opportunity to try for Canada, and then you got to line up against her.
Eee. Eee.
All right, so how did it come about that you got your shot with Canada to where you are where you at today? How did that whole process start? You started playing. Were you good? What was your positions? Did you play 15s? Like I want to know it all. You feel me?
Yeah, so I started with high school and then classic like high school rugby in Canada. Like we just didn't have enough people. We'd go into games with like 14 people playing 15s and
Mhm.
we'd kill it and we'd win, but like we'd have no subs or anything like that. And it just wasn't always like the best like opportunity to play. So like my first coach, Dallas Price, shout out Dallas. She suggested that I try out for or like start playing club. So then I started playing club rugby, and then from there, um, one of my like U18 coaches, Tyler Leggett, shout out Tyler. He saw me running around and just like being really fast. That's like been an X factor of mine. And he was like, oh, like you should come out and play for my invitational team. So then from there, I started playing like elite sevens kind of invitational stuff. And we went out to Las Vegas and did, the Utah sevens, a lot of the stuff that you cover. And yeah, just like each opportunity that came, like I'd take it. And then from there, just trying out for like provincial rugby, so Team Ontario, and just like taking all the rugby opportunities I could get. That basically led me to playing for Team Ontario and then going to nationals and representing Ontario there. And then that kind of got me some looks by the U20 Canada coach. So that was the first time I represented Canada. Was with the U20 group. So this is kind of like over the span of like 2 years though. So yeah, I'd say just like not taking or not taking any opportunities, like taking opportunities whenever they came, and just like also just like finding what I'm good at. So like at that time I just started playing rugby. So I catch pass, hey, like I could catch a ball actually, but like passing wasn't my strength, or like playmaking, I was still learning the game, but like I knew I was fast and like I knew I could tackle people. So like whenever I take these opportunities, I would kind of just try to showcase my strengths. And then so yeah, within like 2 years, 2.5 years, I was representing Canada at the U20 level. And then I went to university for a year at York University, and then I did track and field and rugby there. Um, and then at the end of my first university year, I was invited to come onto like a Maple Leafs tour, which is basically like the development sevens team.
Yep.
And we went down to Chula Vista actually. And again, still learning the game. So, but I knew I was fast. So I was like, okay, I got the GPS in my bag. I just gotta go. If I get the ball, I gotta go. If someone makes a line break, I gotta go. And like that's kind of what I did. And then I got a call back saying come out for a couple months out to BC where I live now and train now, and kind of like give it like a little trial. So I came out here over the summer after my university season or university not season but university semester was done, and then yeah, kind of just again like took the opportunities where I could, and then just try to show up every single day and do what I was good at and get better at what I wasn't good at, and then yeah, here we are.
I gotta say that's a pretty fast comeuppance, right? That's a
Yeah,
pretty quick comeuppance.
yeah,
Uh, totally deserved, as you can see. But when this all was happening, it was all unfolding. What were some of the thoughts you were having as far as the next step and the next place to go? Were you overly confident in your abilities, and you knew that this was like the path it was supposed to be? Were there moments where it was like low, like you didn't have a good game and you like, oh, I could have blew it, or was it just from the beginning? It was like, no, I'm cooking, I'm cooking, I'm cooking. It's my kitchen kind of thing.
I'd say like when I was younger, I definitely struggled with my confidence on field. I always felt like I wasn't doing enough, or like even if I like scored tries, I'd focus on the things I didn't do well, or like if I didn't score a try but I did basically like my job still, like I would still kind of get down on myself. And then also like I love the rugby community, and the people that I've met, like I've made lifelong friends, and like been inspired by a lot of great coaches. But I'm also, a lot of the times I was the only Black person on my team. So like there was kind of that culture shock at first as well. Um, but like I just knew that I really enjoyed playing. And when I realized that there was a team that plays against the best in the world and is amongst the best in the world, like I really just wanted to do everything that I could to get out here and represent this team. So that's sort of something that kept me going. But I'd say like in the earlier stages of my career, mental performance was definitely something that I needed to focus on. And like even now, it's such a big part of my game that like I'm constantly trying to fine tune. And then as well as just like the culture shock of like being the only Black person on my team, or for that matter, also just being new into an environment. Like I didn't grow up, I wasn't playing rugby since grade 9. I wasn't playing Team Ontario or like doing U18 Canada stuff, but like I was playing with girls who are really good and like we're doing all of that stuff. So like it was a bit intimidating as well.
I do have to ask that question because that's kind of important. That's something that I personally can understand wholeheartedly, right? Being the only Black person on the team, being the only person of color in a lot of places on the team, right? Um, A, how does that affect you going into games? Because I have stories. I have a bunch of goofy things that didn't happen over the course of, my 16 something years being involved with this game. But how did that affect you as far as games go? And what is something now, and I know probably more now than before, that you're actually most proud of, like the way that people approach you about it, or the kind of respect you get for it, because there's a lot of Black folks who will see you as an inspiration. So, A, how
Mm-hmm.
did that affect you early on, and how do you feel about it as you've become a mature international professional?
I'd say early on, like I felt quite isolated, and like I always felt like I was being treated different, and like there was just like um a difference in culture and upbringing, like with some of my teammates at the time. Like I would go to school middle of downtown Toronto, like a lot of crazy things happening, at like fights happening, like lockdowns, like all that stuff. And I would take the GO train, which is basically like not like the subway, but like a train that's used to go like longer distances, but like not across the country kind of thing. But I'd take the GO train. I'd leave school ASAP and then take the GO train, be on the GO train for about like 45 minutes, an hour, get out to like Oakville area, which is like kind of like predominantly white. And I'd train out there. And I learned so many, great rugby skills, but like there was just a cultural misunderstanding a lot of the times. And like I kind of felt on the outskirts. Also, just on top of that, like just learning learning how to play with new people, and like on field and off field, just getting to know people. And like, it was just not what I was used to. And I don't think I was what they were used to. So yeah, sometimes I felt like isolated. Um, but I will say like something I'm just happy that I stuck with it, because now like when I might do like guest coaching, or like I might go to local rugby clubs and like hand out some kit or something, and it's like I see one or two people of color there that are like younger, and like I want to connect with them. And I always tell them when I meet them, or like whoever, like, follow me on Instagram, hit me up if you need anything, like chat with me, because I wish I had that when I was younger. And like a lot of the times they'll say the same experiences that I went through, like word for word, and I'll be like, baby, like I've been there, like, and I hear you, I get you, like whatever your why is, like keep playing for that, because like you're not alone. And like it's also nice now too, because it's like Charity was one of the first, or she was the first and only Black person to represent Team Canada for rugby at the Olympics in 2016. And um, then in Tokyo, I think there was about 4 or 5. And now, like, we have a lot of BIPOC people on our team. So I'm really proud to be one of those people, like, just like representing our community. Yeah. Oh, I lost you. I can't hear you.
I said you represent
Oh,
well. I will say you represent well. I'll be, you know what I'm saying? I wanted you to talk, hit the flip. You know what I'm saying? I got the little mic.
I need one of those.
Um, a part of, I think a part of what makes rugby people so cool in a general sense is each individual having their own like way of just being who they are. And seeing you compete, you have a bunch of things that are very individual to you. I know some lady players who wear makeup or lipstick, but I think you might be the only one that I can think of that wears glitter. How did you become the glitter goddess, as I would like
The glitter
to
goddess.
bestow upon you? How did you become so shiny, so glittery, so sparkly? And what's the motivation and what's the thought process behind it?
To be honest, like I wear glitter like almost every day, and like when I play, I put a lot on. It's not that crazy when I'm just out and about, but like I might put some like glitter on here, or like, um because I don't know, I just like how it looks, and it's just, why not? Um and yeah, that's sort of it's just, why
Yeah.
not? And then also, like, we kind of spoke a bit about this before, but like I really, a part of what I love so much about sevens in particular is that it's a variation of rugby that's like a bit newer. It's gaining more traction as of late, and like it's only growing. And um it's not as traditional as like 15s. Like you can celebrate and it's not looked down upon. Like you have people like Perry Baker just like absolutely like slicing defense on the field, and people are like, how did you do that? And he gets in the try line, and like we'll do a backflip or something. Like I love that. I love just like the new energy that sevens holds. And like yeah, so it's like I also like to contribute to that in whichever way possible. And yeah, I'll put some glitter on my face and do that as well.
Well, as a fan of the glitter goddess, keep that up. You know what I'm saying? I also noticed, is it people in the stands that be like wanting you to like share glitter and y'all be like
Yeah,
talking
sometimes. Sometimes also there's a man who counts us down, so when we're coming out of the tunnel like onto the field, both teams like line up side by side, and there's a man named Haji, I think that's his name, and he'll like kind of like do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. But he's also like so sweet, and he's just like always like in a great mood, and like but also like respects the tense environment that's like, as we're side by side, he can respect that, and he does every single one. So this past tournament, which was just in LA, I gave him some glitter, which is pretty cool as well. So I kind of just try to, if someone asks for it or whatever, or sometimes my teammates might like ask for a little bit here and there and stuff.
you're a positive influence of the world. We need more glitter. We
Yeah.
need more glitter. So
I
you
got you.
you got me. I got you. I'm gonna referee with glitter at some point. So you work your way through. You get to this trial. and now it is time for you to represent. What was your first tournament with Team Canada?
My first tournament was the Pan Am Games in 2019.
2019. So you are 5 years, 5 years into your Canadian career.
Mm-hmm.
And that first tournament, what was it like? Was it nerve wracking? What was some of the thoughts as you first got subbed on, or when the game first started, you were on the pitch? What was some of the first things you thought and told yourself?
It was really exciting. Yeah, my first time representing Canada, and it was also at a major games. So we got to stay in like an athletes village, and we brought more of like a development side team. So like the vibes were just like really like positive, not as much pressure kind of thing. Um, but we also know that we our biggest competition was the USA. So we were looking to get to the final, and we did. Um, that's probably one of the most like the best tournaments I look back at and like I'm so like happy with. Just because of the vibes like off field, and then we got into that final and we ended up winning the game. Um, and so like first time I represented Canada, we got a gold medal at the Pan Am Games. It's just like unreal. And then also played against like one of my favorite players, which is Naya. And yeah, it was so much fun like going up against her, and it still is. And like from that, like I was like 19 years old at that time, and like Naya was just cooking on the series, still is. And after that game, there's a picture of me scoring a try, and she ended up like sending it to me because it was like from a USA photographer. And she ended up sending it to me, and it was just like I just thought it was like so like sportsmanlike. So shout out to her, because that's just like I feel like that really like sums up who she is as a person and as a leader. But yeah, there was just so many things that went into making that such an enjoyable tournament, and such a like an amazing way to represent Canada for the first time.
So there's a picture of you scoring a try. She's in the picture, or she just
And
like
she is in the picture. And she is in the picture. That's why I thought it was so dope that she sent it to me, because she could have just held on to that. But like she's really cool for that.
she better than me. She better than me, fam. Listen, listen. I'm contacting Google legal. I'm hitting the lawyers up. I want
Yeah.
to delete this, but no, not Nia Tapper. Not her. She's going to send it to the opponent. Like,
Because she knows that she's good. Like that's the thing too, is like she doesn't have to like she knows she's good, type shit. So I
yeah,
just swore.
she been cooking.
Block
She
that
been
out.
cooking
I
for 'em.
just swore.
We gonna beep that. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Who gives a fuck? I'm just playing. So so she has it's a picture of you going in the score. She's in the picture and she sent it to you. And you would have never known this picture existed if she
Yeah.
doesn't send it to you. She sends it to you. You posted it, right?
Yeah.
What was the caption?
Uh Pan Am Gold, baby. That's what it said. And then like a long sappy paragraph.
You
Yeah.
live in gratitude. That's good. That's good. We're gonna ask that question later too. The Great American Rugby tradition. We'll get to that. So you said, you like playing against her. Is there other players that you enjoy playing against, or people that when you know they're on the other side of the field that you kind of get hyped for, like knowing that this is gonna be a game for you?
Yeah. I'd say like just as a Canadian playing against the US, just because we have that cross border rivalry. Alona is amazing. Aries been cooking, just dream teamed in Van. So yeah, I'd say like against the US, and then also playing Australia as well. Charlotte Caslick's pretty awesome. I like defending her and seeing what she has up her sleeve. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've also noticed about you is and this is through conversation, and this is like the mental aspect. I asked you earlier about the ways that things affect you, how you feel, but there's something about rugby players who literally have to put themselves in compromising and dangerous situations in order to stop a attacker from scoring, like on your team. Is maybe
Mhm.
1-on-1, you're going against someone bigger. What are some of the ways that, or what was some of the things that you done or do mentally to be a tackler that's going to hit everybody? Like, what is it? Because you talk about defense a little bit. You talk about defense a lot of bit. What is it about defense and that part of the game in which you put it on the line and and bring the noise?
Uh, I'd say like it's kind of something that I had to drill into me early on when I was playing because especially like as a winger, you might not always get the ball or like like there's sometimes you can't do as much because if your team doesn't get the ball out to you, then like that can be the only part of your game. So um I tried to like drill into my rugby DNA from an earlier kind of standpoint that like just like make your tackles. If you're a wing and you don't get the ball for whatever reason in a game, but you make your tackles, like you did your job. So just do your job in that sense. And then what are some things that I do? I gotta come up. I don't know. I don't know. Like I just gotta come up and like just try to make the tackle. I don't know. Come
I
up.
mean, look, I respect the answer. You know what I mean? I'm not. Look, I'm
And
definitely not a.
sometimes you miss. Like I've missed before, and like obviously, like it happens. But I'd rather try my best and not make it versus like not try and then I also don't make it. It's like a double whammy of like fails. So
I'm not a big person in the general sense. Like I spent most of my playing career playing at like 175 pounds, right? And as a winger, back three, you might not be in a lot of tackle situations, but sometimes you might be head up against an 8-man. And the
yeah,
one and what you just said is it. Look, if this dude run me smooth over, he got me. Life happens. But if I punk out, I got 14 people with me that's not gonna trust me the same, or you know what I mean?
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I understand it, especially deeply what you're saying. But
Yeah.
now we have
It's
we
really
have
like it's not about you and like what you're like afraid of not making the tackle. Like it's not about you. It's about you just need to make your tackle because it's what your job is kind of thing. And like it doesn't you got to be scared and like do it anyways kind of thing.
you got to be scared and do it anyways. Absolutely. So the reason that I wanted to speak on that part of it's a segue kind of into the part of the game that makes the game thrilling. It makes the game awesome in a way because bad things do happen, but when those bad things happen, there are consequences. And at one point in time, you were injured. You were out of the game for a substantial amount of time. And there's a mental element to that, but like tell me the circumstances of what happened, what put you down, and what were your thoughts and about what were you thinking about what were you thinking about in the early part of the injury and fighting through it, the mental part of it, because I know those had to be dark days.
Oh, they were dark, dark days. Um, yeah, so I tore my ACL in August of 2022, 2 weeks before the World Cup, the Sevens World Cup. So that was definitely tough. And it was just like, it was a step that I've done like hundreds of times. And just like this time I got in the moment and felt unlucky, but in hindsight, I think there were things that kind of led to it, and like I can touch on that after. But yeah, it basically took me out of the game for like 10, 11 months, so almost a year. And I got my surgery. I had missed the World Cup, and then I got my surgery in September, so the following month. And at first, I don't think it really hit me. I cried for a day, you know, like, but I was surrounded by so much like love and support in that moment, which I'm really grateful for. And I don't know. I don't think it really hit me. I've also, I also know a lot of players and I'm teammates with a lot of players that um, have gone through the same injury and like they're shredding, back shredding, like running around. So like I had a lot of like positive influences to look to, and so I wasn't too stressed. But then after I got my surgery, like it really hit me, um, and it turned out to be probably like one of the most challenging things I've ever gone through. Just like identity wise, and um, always like every single day I was just like looking forward to playing rugby, but like I couldn't walk. I couldn't even, and then when I could walk, like I couldn't jog. And then when I could jog, but I couldn't run. I couldn't change direction. So it was just like it was a constant feeling of like this thing that I loved, like not being with me anymore. And yeah, I definitely like grieved in a way, for sure. So yeah, I'd say like that was really tough. I shaved my head. Like it was hardcore. Like I was in the trenches. But it taught me so many valuable things, and it's also I've it's also like such a it was a blessing in disguise for sure. I learned so many things from that experience, and like whether that's like I learned how much like love and support I'm surrounded with, and like to never take that for granted. Um, and also like I said before, in hindsight, like I think there were things that kind of led to it. Before I got injured, I wasn't warming up properly, okay? Because I thought I was indestructible, but not the case. Now I get a good warm up in. Nutrition wise, like wasn't eating the worst, but also like wasn't eating the best. Wasn't getting the sleep that like an elite athlete should be getting. So like um I'd say like it's something that it's taught me is to like just I had a saying in my head that was like I haven't been to the Olympics, like I haven't been to the Olympics yet, but I had a saying that like I wanted to handle this recovery like an Olympian would. So like what does that look like day in and day out? So I kind of just try to like do all of these little habits the way a world-class Olympian, best in the world would. Um, there's so many things I could say about this though. Uh,
Sam, we want to hear it. We want the real thing that I want to know is in those dark times, as you look at them now, if you knew somebody going through them, or you knew some, or let's just put this out in the world of the mental things that you have to do to get past this for the future of somebody else who might be unfortunate enough. What was something you would say to them, or something that you would make sure that they understood about the situation to come out better on the other side?
um, something I try to tell like a lot of rugby players is that like this is a perfect opportunity to get really good at your like little skills. So like choose something that you want to get really good at. For me, it was drop kicks, so restarts and conversions. Um, I learned how to do them left footed, not the best, and I probably wouldn't whip that out, but challenge myself to do a couple of those left footed, and just like you've got so much time. You have at the very minimum 9 months. So it's like how good can you get at a skill or a position in that amount of time, and just like work towards that. That's something that kept me going. And also like try to learn like a new position. So like at the time I only played on the wing, and now because like I had drilled in a lot of just like I had so much time to drill in all these little skills. I can play in the centers now, and then I can also, you can slot me in at scrum half. So I learned how to throw like into the line out. Again, like restarts and conversions and just like getting like a good pass. Also, I would just watched a lot of video. Like there's a lot of things that you can do um in that time that can make sure that like when you're back on the field, you're in a better position than you were before you left it, and like you don't always get the time to work on these things. So I'd say just like try to find ways to improve your game, and like try to become the best at it in whichever way possible. And then from a mental side of things, something I wish I did was I wish I reached out to, because I ended up going to therapy and like getting help with mental performance and like mental health stuff midway through the ACL rehab. But that only happened once I kind of like started to get like an upward curve and I had the energy and the capacity to reach out for help. So I kind of wish that I did that beforehand at the beginning when like I was still kind of like okay. So I'd say like kind of like set those blocks up early, even if you don't think you'll need it. Just like reach out to somebody, whether that's like a mental health professional or your mental performance coach, or start following like mental performance pages if you don't have the money for that stuff, because that stuff is expensive. But yeah, do what you can to support your mental health ahead of time, because there might be hard times. And then lastly, like just from like a physical perspective, take the medication that they give you if you can. Because I tried to be a warrior and like I didn't take the meds, and then all of a sudden the pain really kicked in, and then I had to get on top of it, and it was a catch-up game, which wasn't fun. So just like a little tidbit, kind of just listen to your doctor in the early stages, and wean off when you're ready to do that physically.
You funny, yo. You funny. You funny. Like you definitely are a rugby person. Like in your uniqueness.
Thank you.
And like the wrong word is quirky. I'll figure out a better word
No,
for
I'm corky. I am.
it. But it's not it's an applaudable quirkiness. You know what I'm saying? It's not like who what's wrong with this person? It's more like, man, this look. So
I'll take it.
you take it. Wear it, all right? The glitter
Okay.
goddess. I said it. So in order for us to really enjoy our time here, I'm gonna run back a bunch of clips. I put together like a 3 minute, 3.5 minute clips of Perth, and I'll have more next time we talk. We'll have the whole. Well, I'm gonna get the whole series. Like I'm gonna get every time you do something, because if we're gonna talk again. Every time you do something, the entire series is gonna be a 15-minute clip of every time you scored. Kick, but I got Perth right now, and I would love to be able to just talk through some of the. Corky isn't the right word. Corky isn't the right word, but I would like to talk through a few of the things that I've seen happening in this Perth tournament, and maybe me and you can, I'm like it's already ready to go. It's ready, it's already ready. So let me get people to chill out real quick, you know what I'm saying? So we can get this popping off, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the setup. Shout out to the setup. But all right, so listen. This is you throwing in a line out. You like that. But this is one thing I noticed
That
too.
pass.
Let's rewind that real quick. I'm sorry. We're going to rewind that real quick. Shout out to Rugby Pass TV for having this great content for us to be able to look at. But it's the hustle. It's not just the bad pass and being okay with it. It's working all the way around. And we can stop right there. This picture the hustle is one thing. This picture right here is literally what pays bills for people, right? This exact picture. You have a winger on your outside. You have a chase that's dragging, but you got two defenders in front of you, and how you manipulate is really what sets the tone for how much you play. Like this is what makes players, right? You said you could play in the centers, and this is a centerist moment right here.
Nice.
The show and go to get homegirl away, two hands on the ball. And that right there turns homegirl around. She don't get her a map. Get a map she needs an atlas, Google Maps, Apple Maps. What's another one? Wavy. I don't know the map. I don't know them. She needs
not
a GPS.
Waves. You said Waves.
Yeah, she need Waves. I said Wavy. She need Waves. But and then that's not enough though, right? So now you turn a 2-on-2 into a 1-on-1 situation. And then from there, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Listen, I got video upon video of you fending people. What is up with you and this fin? And the look on your face is so real. Like, is that like one of your favorites? Is that like something you really, you know what I mean?
I'd say so. Like, I feel very confident with it. This tournament in particular, like, I think it was, I felt really confident going into it, and I've been doing a lot of fending, just in the training environment, and like I really wanted to like showcase that in this tournament, and just like all the time, to be honest. It's my favorite, one of my favorite things to do. So
and you was tired. You was tired. This is where the smiling stopped. You finally get to catch your breath. Here go that fend again. So we just watched you hit the left hand fin. Now you out here punching people in the face with the right.
No, I didn't. No, hey, you're gonna get me in trouble.
It wasn't a real punch.
I didn't mean to.
That's illegal. That's legal. That's
legal.
exceptional rugby right there.
You don't do it on purpose. It was right there in my face. I had to get through.
You had to get through, and
it's never on purpose. I have respect for all my competitors.
All right, let me chill. All right, so there goes your fin, right? Your fin. But this is the drop kick technique that I just wanted to show the world. Because, all right, first of all, let me preface this before I get into any level of clowning it. Technically, it's sound.
Okay.
Technically, it's sound. You keep your head down. You're actually looking through the kick, so you don't kick the ball and immediately go find it. You keep your head down, and that, if you watch this, you but it's the hop. It's that part. That right there. First of all, like I said, technically sound. You still looking down on the ground. I don't know if they can see you on the 50-meter line, but you still looking down as if you're looking for the ball. But this hop right here, that right there, hey, when I first saw that, I was like, that's pretty good. And this is why I say it's technically sound, because the way you drop the ball is so that you can get underneath it so the ball drops high. And the fact that the ball, I'm a rugby player. Don't get it twisted.
I know about you. You know the laws of the game too.
And shout out to Cisco. Look at Cisco.
King.
But the hop is so new to me. The kick is what we like to see. That's all I'm saying. No hate. Here go you slide it in at scrum half. Shout out to you. And you working. This is work right here. The fin again. Homegirl was trying to punch your arm to keep you from that's real work right there. And of course, any video of you being absolutely tired is hilarious. Like, can we scrum, please? Because I do not want Do you remember what y'all was talking about? Is somebody
yes, I do actually. I do. So we had one play, and this is like at this point like a kind of a newer position for me. It still is. Not the
All right, I'll start. There we go. I get it back.
My face is so funny when I'm playing. It's so funny. I do the crazy. I don't know what my face does the craziest things. I'm possessed when I'm playing. Anyways, yeah, we had one play, but we have like a world-class fly half, Chloe Daniels, amazing. But we had one play, and then she called it off last minute, and she told me to just go and back myself. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like, just listen to my voice. I'm like, okay. And then you know what happens.
Yeah.
I was all Chloe.
Shout out to Chloe.
Shout out to Chloe.
Shout out to Chloe, not the Kardashian. But anyway, this South Africa game, you was actually balling though. It was a lot of things going on. You was playing really well.
Thank you.
But this right here is like what I think is it shows really how dangerous you are. Whenever you get the ball and you can get the going, even if it's not really a line break situation, but you get like a 6 meter like run up, you really put pressure on the defense. Like you really, really like. I mean, this picture right here says that it might be tough work, right? You supposed to have a attacker on the far side, right? Yeah, or is it just is that a 2-on-2?
Yeah, we have one more person out there.
Yeah, so that pass isn't passable, right? It's pretty much matched up woman to woman, and the drag with the fake switch, right? This. If I'm looking from this as a fan, I'm like, oh, she ain't getting through that. Oh, she's through. And you know how you got through? You see that left arm touching the scrum cap, bloop, and they just stopped chasing, and you running as that's about as fast as you wanted to run right there.
Because that's right Australia. Here, they're quick. Like I was like, okay, I gotta get away quick.
Your first like 5 steps, you look like you were running.
Yeah, I was trying to go.
Yeah. Then you figured out like, all right, this is cool. No smile. I'm surprised. No happy face smile on that one.
I know. I should have waited to put it down too. No one was chasing me, but I was shocked.
You said speed it up. If we going
yeah,
fast?
I was like, speed it up.
Oh no. I missed the spot. Hold on, we got to go back because I want to see that fin when you was about to go in the. Dang, you really gunning it, but the fin is unrelenting. Speed it up, should we? That's a Heisman. That's the Heisman right there. That is tough work. That is tough work right there. Yeah, you run it. Nope, no smiles. This is wild. I'm used to seeing a happier Hogan.
I was just surprised, honestly, and I was like, damn, like I hope this works out. And then I was through, and I was like, okay, I hope I don't get caught. And then I didn't. And then I was like, also like this game, we're playing against Australia, like number 1 seeded in the world, and like
in their home,
at their home tournament, like so. It wasn't as much fun in games in that one. It was just business.
Yeah,
business.
Absolutely. And this is what I was talking about. The slow turnaround. Yo, fam, listen. This slow turnaround right here. Oh my God. Through. No, you ain't even got to use your fin. But once you got through this line, you were cheesing. I've never seen anybody happier playing rugby than you once you broke the line. I'm telling you. You still happy. You still happy. Look at the slow turnaround. Just a da-da-da-da-da. Oh. Now that's what the game about. Like I'm glad that you really enjoying it. And then they're gonna.
And that's something that like I really learned while I was injured while I was injured as well. It's just like I really learned. I always knew how much I always knew I loved rugby, but like the gravity of how much I loved it and all of the things about it, and especially just like competing at this level against the best with the best, like it's something I think about every single day. And the moments, like whenever I cross the try line, it's just like everything feels like it's like those are the moments where like everything comes together. And I think like just like watching my teammates play last year, like I just sometimes, this job is like really hard and stressful. Like we're away from our family. Sometimes we're playing under crazy amounts of jet lag. Like there's just constant like mental energy being put out, and there's a lot of things about this job that make it hard. And like I just wanted to tell my teammates last year, like just enjoy it, like try to have fun, because I wish I was doing everything that you guys have the opportunity to be doing. So yeah, that's why I really enjoyed playing PR7s, and like that's why when I get across the try line, like I'm just so happy, and I'm just so happy, like, because it's what I love to do, and it's something I think about every single day. So
I'm glad you decided to have this talk with me. I
thanks for
love talk.
having me.
I
Long
love
time coming.
talking. Yeah, man. Long time coming. I love the love of the game. Look how happy she is. Look.
I can't look at myself in slow mo. I can't.
Yeah, I knew you have a problem with this one. I put it in slow mo for a reason. Let's run it back. Dun 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 dun. So excited, so glittery, and 5 points, just
In
like
five
that.
points.
I gotta say, I really enjoy the fact that you enjoy the game the way that you do. I think it's something that makes it easier for other people to really gravitate towards the game when they see someone that put as much time in and sacrifice as much as they have. Is there something particular specific that you love about the game?
Um, yeah, again, I'd say just like the community of people. Um, the community of people, and I love how dynamic you can be on the field. Like, you could be a power player, you could be a speedster, you could be a power player and a speedster, you could be a playmaker, you could be all three. You could have one thing that you're really good at, but if you're the best in the world at it, then put up or shut up. 5 points, 5 points. Like, or you could be great at everything. Like, there's so many things to be good at. There's so many things that you can challenge yourself and like get better at. So I like just like the duality of it, and yeah, I'd say that the people and just everything that the sport challenges me with.
As we wind down on this, one of many conversations I shall have is with
One
you.
of many. Let's go.
It's a great American rugby tradition to give thanks and gratitude to someone who helped you on your rugby journey.
Okay.
At a time like this, with all the sacrifices and energy that you put into this game, could you please look into the camera and show love to someone who helped you on your rugby journey?
Yes, sir. I already shouted Dallas out before, but shout out to Dallas again. Dallas actually coached me and Charity. So yeah, she knows what she's doing. She was my first rugby coach, the person who introduced me to rugby, and a big part of like why I fell in love with playing rugby as well. Um, she's one of those coaches that it doesn't matter if we have 16 players and we're playing 15s. If you're not on time, baby, we'll play with 14 and you're gonna come off the bench. Like, I don't know, like she's really strict with her standards, and not just like on field standards, but off field standards, and respecting time and just being a good teammate, being a good player as well. And that's something that she instilled in me as I kind of went through different levels of competition. I'm really glad that she was like a big part of my foundational rugby journey. Um, and someone that's just always been supportive of me no matter what, and in my corner. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you, Dallas, if you're watching. Hi. Yeah, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her. And like all those times that like I spoke about earlier about just like kind of feeling like a sore thumb whenever I went to the higher level rugby stuff when I was younger, and like not like still figuring out how to fit in. Like, I would always talk to her about that, on like whenever we had tournaments that were like way out of the way. She would always drive me, and we'd have a lot of good chats. So I'm really appreciative of her, and I wouldn't be the rugby player I am or the person I am if it wasn't for her. So shout out to Dallas Price. She coaches at the Toronto Nomads. which is my home club. So shout out to them as well. Yeah. What about you?
Oh, you want me to get one? Wow, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We were supposed to have this interview uh um, February sometime. I can't remember the exact date.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, due to things you had going on and things that popped up for me, we had to postpone it. And one of the things that on my end was the local professional MLR team, Miami Sharks, had a scrimmage against my old college team. Great game. I think it ended in a tie, which is amazing. And my coach when I was in college is also the coach now for the Miami team. His name's Tui Osborne. Tui, he also coached the locals for PR7s.
Okay.
But Tui, we didn't get along when I was a player for him. I'm just gonna be frank. We didn't get along. And I it wasn't necessarily because of anything more than we both had our own pressures outside of our relationship that made it hard for us to really have a good player coach relationship. And but as I think back, the things that he was teaching me, the things that he were telling me, the way the level of my play just jumped. A lot of it had to do with Tui. Tui was, I would say this. I've said this a bunch of times. The best rugby I've played in my life was when Tui was my coach. Some of the best rugby I played in my life when Tui was my coach. Now there's a bunch of other reasons why I was playing good, but more than 30% of those reasons was the fact that Tui was my coach. And if I had the Great American Rugby and thank somebody, it would have to be Coach Tui because now I understand. Now I didn't understand then. I understand now.
Mhm.
And as I develop in my rugby journey myself, I'll become a coach one day, and I'll be able to use that relationship we had then and the relationship we have now to better connect with players and to be able to help them in the ways that he helped me. So, Great American Rugby tradition. Thanks and gratitude will go to Tui Osborne, and good luck to him and the Miami Sharks and everything that they're doing. Boom! You're the first person to ask me to give one back, and there you go. That's
Wow.
wild. That's wild. But yeah,
It's because I'm Canadian. That's why.
it's because you're Canadian, eh?
Yeah.
Asia, I gotta say, man, it's gonna be even more retreat to watch you playing now, because I usually be like, up USA playing, yes, I watch it. Canada playing, change the channel, but not no
Oh
more.
yeah. Okay.
Not no more. Not no more. I'm joking, but I look forward to everything that you're doing. I can't wait to see you in Hong Kong, and moving forward as you step it up and fight for your position to make the Olympics. I hope and pray that a year from now you got them 5 rings tattooed on you somewhere and you get to hopefully you holding a medal. I think Canada deserves opportunity again to medal again. And I wish you luck, and thank you for jumping on the show and showing love to the Great American Rugby story.
You're doing good work. You're doing good work. And yeah, no, I'm so happy to have had the opportunity to chat today. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to kind of share a little bit about my upbringing, and also just like share some of the things that I've learned on my rugby journey, and hopefully it helps someone in the future. So yeah, thank you. Play that music, because this is a bop. This is a bop. I heard it in the change room, in the holding room.
Oh, you talking about? I made that, right?
It's a bop.
I made it with these hands. I made fire. But yeah,
Okay.
little something slight. You know what I'm saying? But thank you, Asia Hogan Rochester, for pulling up the glitter goddess herself, representing Canada Sevens Internationals. I peep you and your team later. Thank you for joining the Great American Rugby story, and stay blessed. All right.
Blessed.